Warning, this video contains topics some viewers may find disturbing. Hey you! Thanks for stopping by! Welcome back to another disturbing manga review. You guys love these types of videos, so I'll keep making them. I wasn't expecting this to become a series. Funny how this channel evolved. Quick side note, as usual, because YouTube doesn't like certain words said on their platform, I have to censor myself. I know some people don't like when creators use YouTube-friendly language, such as unalive, instead of the other word when someone takes their own life. Would you be fine with me saying unalive on this channel? Let me know. Today's disturbing manga is Applicant for Death. I discovered this when looking through the disturbing manga iceberg on Reddit. This one was at the bottom of the tier, along with My-chan's Daily Life and the Junko Furuta manga. I just had to see why it's on the same level as these two. This manga is by Juan Gotoh. Hope I said that correctly. It appears Gotoh typically writes naughty manga, according to MyAnimeList. I can't even show the cover, that's how disturbing this is. The cover features a girl with her head removed, and red liquid everywhere. How disturbing is Applicant for Death? Let's find out. The manga begins with a girl named Yayoi Okumura sitting in a chair wearing no clothes. She says she wants to end her life by having her brains blown out. A woman with long dark hair asks why. Yayoi says she fantasized about it since watching JFK's assassination on TV. You know, former US President John F. Kennedy, who took a bullet to the brain? The dark-haired woman says this will be a hard request, but figures out which weapon to use and where to aim so Yayoi will still be conscious through the whole thing. She gives Yayoi an injection to reduce the shock. The dark-haired woman shows her a mirror that's bulletproof so she can see everything that is about to happen. I can't tell if these characters are supposed to be teenagers or adults. The dark-haired woman points her weapon at the back of Yayoi's head and fires. Yayoi is still conscious and touches her exposed brain. She's so excited, if you get what I'm saying. The dark-haired woman begins to pleasure Yayoi and then she climaxes. Yayoi then dies from her injury. Why? Because people die if they are killed. In the next panel, it's revealed the whole thing was watched on a boy's computer. The dark-haired woman addresses the camera, saying they only sell this to clients who can keep quiet and pay enough. She also says their clients don't do this to escape an illness or debt, but for the joy of going out a certain way. She ends by saying, "I'm waiting for you, Sora Inoue." The next chapter opens with Sora's sister waking him up for school. One of the few pages I can show uncensored. Today he is going to end his life, then starts beating his meat at the thought of it. Next, he is on a bed with no clothes on, just like Yayoi from the beginning. Sora also has a fantasy of how he wants to go out. He wants to be decapitated while doing it. The dark-haired woman says her assistant will help, who is revealed to be Sora's sister. Oh my God! She apologizes for not telling him sooner and says she will get a thrill from the decapitation. The sister tells Sora she doesn't want to do this to her own brother, but Sora knows she wants to go through with it. They both get excited down there. The sister begins to lick his popsicle. The dark-haired woman asks what will it be, and the siblings agree to go through with it. The dark-haired woman gets on top of Sora and begins to pleasure him while the sister watches. These characters have no shame. As they're finishing, the sister pulls out a sword and then Sora's head goes flying. The sister holds Sora's head and gets excited down there. Sometime later, Sora wakes up and wonders how he's still alive. The dark-haired woman explains that she hooked him up to a machine that will keep him alive for a little while longer, because his sister wants to fulfill her fantasy of ending her life. Her fantasy involves humping his decapitated body.
What the hell did you just say?
That's right. She even says, "I'm effing your corpse." There's no confusion on what's going on. And then she runs a knife across her stomach as her insides spill out. The dark-haired woman then removes the sister's head. The sister's head lands next to Sora. The dark-haired woman brings the heads close together so they can kiss before leaving this world with smiles on their faces.
There's ass, blood, and guts everywhere!
That's the end of the story. But wait, there's a bonus story that is identical to the last one.
But wait! There's more!
It starts with a brother and sister wearing no clothes. The sister wants to end her life with a guillotine. The title of the short is called Guillotine Self-Pleasure. The brother named Akira watches his sister pleasure herself under a guillotine. Akira looks like a character from an Osamu Tezuka manga. When the sister finishes, pulls a rope to send the blade down on her neck. She's still alive. Akira picks up her head and places it between her legs so she can lick her private area. Then she licks her brother's popsicle. Akira thanks her before proceeding to F her corpse. The blade comes down on Akira's neck as he finishes. His head lays next to his sister. They spend their final moment staring at each other. The sister tells herself it was a good present, while Akira just says, "Sister." That's it. That's Applicant for Death. This was a hard one to explain. Let's see what other people thought of this manga. Here's some reviews from MyAnimeList. Yeah, this is Goro, I know. How dare the author draw something like that? You've never seen anything like this, you can't even. Sure. I know this whole dance, the encounter with a kind of manga you didn't expect to read. But does Goro really deserve the lowest of marks just for being Goro? Does an adult film deserve to be trash-talked just for being an adult film? Applicant for Death might have some explicit imagery, but it isn't really so bad. You could even say that it's creative, in a way. It caters to very unusual kinks. Kinks so obscure it might as well be fabricated. It's just disgusting why these kids wants to end it while doing it. WTF. I've never seen a kink like this before, and I hope I'll never see this again. If you're sensitive and you want to vomit, just read this. That's the worst manga I've ever seen. A girl wants to blow her head while touching herself. A boy wants to cut his head off while doing it. Somehow I was disappointed by an Goro. First, I should state that I'm not a gore enthusiast. I enjoy gore in a horror sense, and as such, have fallen down the Goro rabbit hole several times. Goro rabbit hole. Goro. Down the Goro. Goro. The first chapter of this manga, though slightly goofy with the JFK stuff, was actually really interesting and reminded me of the movie Hostel, which I rather enjoy. However, the second chapter completely loses all sense of reality and honestly feels boring. The final chapter then barely connects to the other two, and was such a letdown. Ultimately, I do not recommend this manga at all. What did I think of this manga? It deserves to be at the bottom of the iceberg. It was shocking. It's like the mangaka made this purely for shock value by adding the most controversial subjects. Let's add teenagers ending themselves, incest, nudity, and some gore. He's giving Uzuka Waita a run for his money. Thankfully, there were no animals involved. I don't want to read that stuff, not after Slave Contract and Pet Humiliation Diary. Don't read it, even though I did. I took one for the team. I can't stop you from reading this, I'm not your mom, it's out there. Just watch at your own risk. Even though this is a fictional story, struggling with mental health and not wanting to live is a real issue. I know since I made Slave Contract, some people have commented that this isn't the worst, the most disturbing thing out there, and I agree. I think I might have actually found the most disturbing manga. If you or someone you know is thinking of doing what the characters in the story did, I will have some resources linked in the description if you need it. If you like this video, then consider liking and subscribing. Let me know your thoughts on this manga in the comments. What's the most disturbing manga you've read? Thanks for stopping by. you.